Welcome to another episode of the Delayed Gratification Podcast, where we talk about building wealth over time, y'all. You know we always have some great guests, and today I got double. I mean, when I say double, we're getting ready to have some fun, but we're going to talk about building wealth, y'all. We're going to get into the woods of how we build wealth. And listen, y'all, ain't no cap, as they say. I'm not on this one.
No cap.
So today, again, I got my brother and my sister on here, and I want them to introduce themselves. Can y'all introduce yourselves?
Definitely. I am Real Estate One. I am Doug Parson, celebrity realtor here in Atlanta, master flipper, builder. Just real estate is my thing. So I'm just glad to be here, man. And I brought my beautiful wife, Real Estate Blondie. Introduce yourself.
I am Atiya, also known as Dr. Blondie, also known as Real Estate with Blondie. Educator, been in education for over 23 years, and I also sell real estate. I flip everything, and I get dirty too. I get in the homes as well.
No cap. Let's go.
Wow, listen, I'm going to start right where we at.
Okay.
You flipping, you doing, man, I don't know. What was that number last year? I need to know what the sales number was last year.
It was over 10 million, and it wasn't really a whole bunch of deals. So everything I did was.
But that's just real estate sales. That ain't got nothing to do with that flipping side.
I haven't even talked about the flipping side.
Oh, we don't even talk about that.
And we can, but it's like a lot of people, hey, what was your numbers? What were your numbers? And they say stuff like that. And I tell them my numbers, but then it's like I got a whole nother side because we do the flipping, we do property management, and we do stuff like that. So just one of my flipping deals, that's like me selling at minimum $1 million house. So you can add that up a little bit. I'm blessed.
You are, man. Listen, so I've been knowing you now, man, been close to 20 years.
Yeah.
And from day one where you were rolling.
Yeah.
REOs. But you've graduated. Still doing REOs and short sales.
Yeah.
I'm going to get into that.
Yeah.
But now we see you as, man, you the realtor for the celebrities.
Yes.
How we get there?
In a nutshell, I have some family members that are celebrities. Coach K, which actually forwarded my book that I have out now. But Coach K gave me some great referrals, and it was like the first referral he gave me, I think, was who was my first referral? Madonna.
Okay.
So after I closed this deal with Madonna, she was like, "Oh, okay, I'm a celebrity, so now you're the celebrity realtor." Right? Then I had one of my best homeboys come to me. He was like, "Man, you selling to celebs now. You got to become that celebrity realtor." And I thought about it. I was like, okay. So I kind of branded myself behind that. And one celebrity would bring another celebrity, and it kind of just the snowball effect. So I've worked with some big people, and shout out to Coach K.
Shout out to Coach K.
Yeah.
So, but what I don't want people to take this for granted though. You've made over the past 6-7 years, you've been a celebrity,
right? For
the celebrities, right?
Right.
But man, you were rocking and rolling, like again, 20 years ago.
I was.
So the image has changed a little bit.
It has.
But that dollar amount been.
Yeah, the dollar amount is good. So as you know, when I really got heavy when I first was brought in the game by Elizabeth Johnson.
Yes.
Okay, you know Elizabeth Johnson.
Yes, I do.
Shout out to Elizabeth Johnson. She put my boots on. So it was like from the jump, she was like, when you get your real estate license, just come to my house. I'm gonna put your boots on. Went to school, got my license. Liz, I got my license. Cool. First day. This is something we do called BPOs, which is it's really a short appraisal. So she put me on to that. And it was like out the gate, I wasn't thinking about selling too many homes because I was making 6 figures doing these BPOs. You know what I mean? I could stay in the house. I ain't had to go nowhere. So, but after a while, she was like, hey, this is just supposed to be an appetizer. Like, you got to go get the real money flipping or selling houses at the time. So, I eventually got to that, and it took off.
Let me say this, man. And I kind of stay to myself. I don't really talk a lot.
Exactly.
But I remember coming into that office, and this is I'm gonna call it a small office.
Yeah, it was.
Right. I know we were doing 300 deals a year.
Oh, absolutely. Easy.
That's crazy.
Easy.
That's
crazy. And then like when the market crashed, a lot of people fell off. And it was like everybody was doing terrible. But me personally, like I was dealing with the banks already from doing the BPOs. So then they started, hey, you want to take this list? You want to take this? You want to take that? So as the market was crumbling per se, I was going up. You know, the worse it got, the better it was for me. And then I started messing with the short sales.
So that's pretty bad, Doug.
Hey, I'm just, hey, you said no cap, keep it real. I'm just keeping it real, like, unfortunately. But, you know, fortunate for me, like, I was in that lane and, you know, I would get them and call all the big time flippers at the time, like yourself. You know what I'm saying? And they would just eat them up, and it was great, you know.
So you wear a couple different hats.
Yes.
We know you're real, and not just for celebrities. Let me just say this, y'all. The customer service and this man knowledge and information superior.
Right.
And so don't not call Doug. You know what I mean?
It's funny, I get that.
They're not gonna call you now.
Yeah, I get that call. They be like, hey, do you work with regular people? I said, yes, right now. What's going on? Like, what we doing?
You know, I always say we all regular people.
I agree.
Cut one of us and see what happens.
Right.
Right. So you're a realtor, but you're also a developer, right? You're building new houses. When did you start that?
The building,
the flipping,
the flipping. I started that. That had to be, you know what? It had to be years ago. I started flipping before I got my real estate license in Kentucky. We lived in Kentucky for a short period of time, and I
What part?
Lexington.
Okay.
We're super slow. Had to get out of there when it was time. But at any rate, so what it was, I had a commercial cleaning business. It was huge. We did Best Buys, Garden Ridge, and stuff like that. So anyway, I used to ride through the hood, you know, just ride. And I used to see these abandoned houses and stuff like that. Well, I went on the street one day. I saw two of them across the street from each other. And, you know, I inquired about who owned them, and I bought them and flipped them. Originally, I rented them out. But then I ended up, you know, selling them. So I had to say I started it when I was about 24, around that age. You know, I bought my first house when I was 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
You been liking him this long?
21.
21 what?
21. Since we were 21 is when we met.
So how many years was that?
So it's almost 29. And we're 25 years married in July.
Can't get rid of her.
That. That's a congratulations. We ain't going there today. We ain't going there today.
Hey, I'm just playing, y'all. For real.
Look, I'll be taking them home.
Okay.
All right.
So you started flipping then. Mm-hmm. Are you still fixing and flipping now?
I am still fixing and flipping. I actually, I got a passion for it, man. I love to see a house, and the worse they are, I go in there. Like, I get a lot of, I like to go in houses that really look bad because you get rid of a whole lot of the competition real quick. You know, it just as somebody spray paint on a wall. Oh my God, they vandalized the house. You still got to paint the house.
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah, I still enjoy flipping. I'm going to continue to flip. Eventually, maybe some years from now, I'll just do builds. But right now, I love to flip.
So you're flipping and building some new construction.
Yeah.
Wow. Where about? What city?
So actually the building is going on in Fayette County. Fayetteville, they have 2 gated communities. So it's in one of the 2 gated communities in Fayette County. This is my first big house I built. It's like 8,000 square feet, 3,000 square foot basement. So a lot of my guys were like, man, you just jumped on out there, didn't you? And I was like, yeah, pretty much. So
11,000 square feet total?
Total, 8,000 total.
Okay, 5 up, 3 down.
Yeah, 3 down.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one.
You already got it sold?
I do got it sold.
I figured that.
Yeah. Shout out to Boyer. He did the architect design.
Man, listen, man. Yeah. I go and watch his designs, man. I'm like, I don't think I've ever met him.
Right.
But when I say he got some nice designs, man, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. Now, that's a good one now.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see that. I got to come see that one.
Yeah, you got to come out there.
Where we at in that one? I mean, like, you know, is it framing up, the walls
right
up?
Now, the flooring system, then they going with the loose lumber for the walls, then the truss. So we right there at that point.
Okay. Yeah. So what we thinking, 6 months?
Yeah, about that.
About 6 months?
Yeah.
Marble, the whole 9. We
got to do that. Thinking about the floors, though, I've been liking that like light color oak they putting down now.
Yeah.
I like that. It looks real rich.
Okay. Well, that fits you.
Yeah. So even with my flipping, you know, I try to give, you know, like the houses I flip, typically they between like 200 and 400, you know, but the lower end ones, like I try to give my people like the same thing they would see in an upper scale home. So what I call it is I give people like that want champagne, you know, but they got beer money. like I help them get to that champagne, with the way I design them and stuff like that. I give them quartz. I give them a LVP, but I mean, it looks like, hardwood floors and push button toilets and stuff like that. So,
man, I go overboard with renovations.
Really?
But I went into a house, new construction, that was about $500,000, and it had the laminate floors. This was a couple years ago. I'm like, did they really just do that?
Right.
And I'm still putting in real hardwood floors, and I'm spending double the money.
Right.
I was like, no more.
Right. Because you see people selling them. You see people selling that, and you're like, hold on now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the high end, I mean, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 houses.
Right.
And I'm like, man, we still want to put in this and this level house. Let's go there. And everybody's using that now.
Right.
Up until probably $600,000.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're building one, flipping a few.
Yeah.
What else? I need to know all the money coming from,
Well, we also, me and my wife, I'll let her speak on that, but we also got a property management company. So you want to tell them a little bit about that?
Yes, sure. So we have a property management company. So we, of course, do all the managing, any maintenance needs, things like that. We will also find people homes, if they need to rent, but there's a finder's fee.
Right.
Because as you know, there's really not a lot of money in that for the realtor. So what we do is, for our time, there is a finder's fee. So anyone needing property management, holler at us. Legacy Property Management Team, LLC.
Legacy.
I got to stay over there, though. Because, see, listen. So I know he talked a lot of junk, right? But the past couple of years, I seen you jump into this business.
Yes.
Right? What made you get into the business? Because now his business, or y'all's business,
right?
His, it's y'all's.
Yeah.
It's gone through the stratosphere.
Right.
So tell me what happened. Give me the right version.
Well, honestly, I've pretty much been his secretary for the last 20-something years since he's been in it, and I've watched him. I've seen his growth. And so he just was like, you know what, you really need to get your license. Like, you're around all these educators. You need to go ahead and get your license. And I was like, no.
How long have I been telling you to do this, though? How many years have I been begging you to come over?
Maybe 4 to 5 years?
More than that, probably like 10.
A long time. And I was like, I was like, for one, I'm test out because, I have my PhD. Wow. And after that, I was like, I'm burnt out. Like, I don't want to see a book, anything else. But he's like, you need to go ahead. So he was like, I said, you gonna pay for the class? He was like, yeah, I'll pay for it. I was like, sign me up. So I went ahead and signed up. I did the 2-week course.
Ooh.
Yes. I don't suggest anyone do that. So I did the 2-week course, which was it was live, but it was like a crash course, basically. And then, passed the class, then went and took my test. And I love it. I absolutely love it.
She does.
And for me, it's that passion for teaching, because even though I really haven't had my license that long, there's an education part, because when you build that relationship with a client, there's so many things that you need to educate them on. And I'm really an educator at heart. So eventually I told him, I said, you just wait until I retire from education. I said, I'm going to be on your heels.
She can't do nothing
because
with me.
When I say beast mode, I'm ready to take over. So y'all watch out. Like, Dr. Blondie, I'm coming for you.
I've been seeing that, and it's a really good feeling as you grow together.
Yes.
We all on one accord. And I know y'all got 2 young men.
Right.
And I know that's take a lot of time. You know what I mean? I know we spend a lot of time with our kids, games, the whole nine. So we're at a point now where you guys can take that time and retire. Are you retired all the way?
Not yet. So 3 years I can retire.
3 years. You still
3
young.
years.
Yeah.
I know. 3 years.
Yeah, she turned 21 today.
Hey.
So full-fledged real estate, but you keep saying you like to educate people because you are an educator at heart.
Right.
So y'all have now started to educate folks.
Right. So we do the mentoring, which is you're educating them. So sometimes people aren't quite ready to flip on their own.
Yes.
So what we'll do is we'll mentor them. So we'll walk them through the whole process of, the looking for the home, the buying. When you walk through that first time, what are some of the things that you're looking for with your tablet and writing those things down, and then doing the comps to see if the house is even worth it. Are you going to make your money out of it? Down to the closing, you know, how you should set that sale price. So that's what we're doing now. And eventually I really want to teach. Like I can see myself teaching real estate classes, you know. That's what eventually I want to do. And then I also want to put a program in the schools, because nowadays everyone's not going to go to college. Definitely. And I don't think we should force that down the youth of today's throats. Right. So really, I want there to be some kind of component, which my PhD is in curriculum and instruction. So I want to build some kind of curriculum program where there's an aspect of real estate in schools where we teach students and they can perhaps get their license, just like where we're from in Indiana. Right. Like they have trading programs where you can like get your barbering license, different type of license.
Auto mechanics.
Auto mechanics.
They've taken that out of most schools though.
Right.
When we were kids, they had home ec, auto.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think they should have an aspect of real estate in school. So as soon as you get out, you know, take the test and you're ready to run.
Can I tell you something though? That's too much like That's empowering too many people, and it's giving too many kids an option. But because of YouTube, social media universe, people out here like you guys that are putting it out there, you know, more kids can get educated. But to put it in the school to start teaching at, you know, middle school, high school, whatever level.
Right.
Do you know how many kids that their life trajectory would change if they had real estate in the curriculum? Like, and it's like they need to bring back that trade school, because like a lot of these kids now, they want to be their own person, or they might not want to go to school. Like they got their own agenda, and I think this would go great with it. You know, like you were saying about, like I did this book for to help like a lot of hustlers, a lot of dancers. You know, it'd be a whole lot of stripping and a whole lot of tipping in Atlanta. You know what I mean? And the tipping goes crazy.
I wouldn't know about that, dude.
I'm just letting you know. These is the people that I'm trying to reach. I'm trying to reach you all. I'm trying to reach them, because there was nobody. I didn't have anybody telling me, hey, back when I was in the streets prior to 1996, I didn't have that person telling me, hey, man, you getting all this money. Why don't you go buy this house? Why don't you flip this house or just invest in real estate? Like, I wish I would have had somebody to tell me that looked like me. Because all the people that I seen doing it at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, they buy those, they be on TV and they selling you the VHS tape. They didn't look like me. They looked like the furthest thing that could be me. So now I just feel like God has chosen me. Like I think the people I'm trying to reach, they can relate to me. So, you know, now what I'm trying to do is give back. Like I give it to them in layman's terms in my book, from getting your credit together to getting a real estate agent that can find you these deals, that know what's going on, to finding these great hard money lenders, and just the whole package. And I've broken it down.
Hold on though. Because I want to get into the book.
Okay.
But you said something.
Yes.
Prior to 1996, what were you doing?
And
where were you?
Okay, prior to 1996, I was in Indianapolis, Indiana.
The Nap
Town. And really, like, if you don't know Naptown, it's really like the baby brother of Chicago.
It is.
So we got the gangs, we got the drugs, we got the murders. I think just like a couple of years ago, we had the murder capital in Little Old Indiana. Yep. It wasn't California, none of that. It was Indianapolis. So that's where
it's a real spot now.
It's too rough.
I was kind of put my toe in there and ran back up out of there.
Right. I mean, it's
because you better know somebody.
Right.
Yeah, you better know somebody. Yeah. So that's where it all started at, man.
You were born and raised there.
Born and raised there.
Okay.
I was an athlete. You know, I was a great football player, just like my kids.
Yes.
I can still remember the day I pulled up. I can remember the day my life went in the wrong direction. I remember I pulled up. I might have been in 11th grade. I pulled up to summer practice at Lawrence North High School, and I sat there. I was in my convertible 98, right? Convertible 98 old school. And I seen the guys getting out and stuff, and I was like, at the time, I was hustling. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, do you really want to go through these summer workouts, or do you really want to go get some money? Mm-hmm. So at the time, I chose to go get the money. You know what I mean? Unfortunately. So prior to 1996, it was a whole lot of wrong things going on. I know people know what bricks are. Like before the house bricks, it was the real bricks. You know, and I was blessed enough to get out of that unscathed, never went to prison, never been shot, none of that. So, you know, I was really blessed to get out of that lifestyle, the drug lifestyle, and change my life. So, you know, I definitely want to thank my wife. She kept me straight, because when I first came out of it, it was like I used to wake up every day, look in the mirror. You know, I'm used to making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now I'm looking at, I done ran through the money from the game. You know what I'm saying? Now I got to go get a regular job. So I remember I had one job, you know, and I used to wake up in the morning and look in the mirror like, oh my God, like, is this real? Like,
I thought about that. You actually had 2 jobs.
I had 2.
You had 2. I thought about that from a. From
I had 2 jobs, y'all.
From a prior interview, y'all. So correction, run the tape back. he Odessa. So he was washing cars for the auction. But remember, you were a bus monitor.
I did ride on the
yes.
bus. So let me tell you about that. Listen.
Because that's when I was sending them good lunches and you said you was warming it up. And they was like, man, what are you eating? Yes.
Let me tell you something, though, real quick about the bus monitor. That really inspired me so much because I used to be on the back of those buses and we used to pick up kids in the rich neighborhood. And like it'd be nighttime and, you know, we ride through the neighborhood and like the kids would run out of the house. I would see the morning smoke coming out of the chimney in these nice houses. And I just used to be like, wow, like these people really got it together. You know, they in these nice houses and stuff. I said, I want to get to that point where I can be in a nice house. You know what I'm saying? All nestled up, warm in the morning, you know, and that definitely inspired me, that job. So shout out to all the bus monitors. Keep going.
Shout out to the missus for remembering that.
Thank
Definitely.
you. Yes.
Them the memories that change our lives.
Yes. Yes.
You were there then?
I was there then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because you were bringing him some sack lunches.
Right.
Cooking
Well,
them.
sending them. Yeah. So when we
Wow.
first left Indianapolis, we went to Kentucky,
Right.
and that's when it was a hard transition
Rough.
from him from the streets to not doing that, and he kept trying to go back, and I would call his mom like, "Hey, he's talking about coming," because I said
used
you
to
can
be
go.
pissed.
I was like, "You can go back. I'm not going back." I was trying to say, "Hey, like if I'm not going, maybe he'll say."
Well, tell him that when I left, you said I wasn't leaving you. Tell him that part
yes.
first.
So when he first left Indianapolis, he was like, I'm going, I'm leaving. I'm going to Lexington.
Changing my life.
I don't know. Just like that, I was like, you're not leaving me. Like I literally left my family and everything.
You went with it.
Enrolled in school there, University of Kentucky. That's where I finished undergrad, and the rest is history. But I would call his mom every time. It's like, he's talking about coming back, and he would get so mad because she would call, "You better not come back here." And years later, he's like, "I'm so glad you did that."
Yes.
You know.
So it is true though. It takes special young
It does.
ladies
It
to make
does.
us be right.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
I'm
right.
I'm right.
You're right.
I'm right.
You're right. You've been right a long time, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you transform from that world,
Yes.
and you never look back.
No.
And so now you've moved forward. You feel it. You know it. You're here for a reason,
Right.
and that is to make sure that you're inspiring other folks and teaching other folks how to do it.
That's the truth.
The art of flipping bricks.
Yes.
What made you write the book?
You know what? Actually, tell you the story. So I was working with one of my clients, Safari. You may know he's on TV, does music, but I was working with Safari Samuels. I've sold him plenty of houses here, even to Florida. So I was working with him, and he told me a guy named Clarence McNair, which is a big dog in branding and stuff like that, has Slutty Vegan. You know, that's one of his clients. So it was like, I started working with him. Safari was like, "Hey, he wants to buy a house in Atlanta." Cool, call him. We going back and forth. I'm looking for houses. And then he just one day was like, "Man, tell me a little bit. You seem cool as hell. Tell me a little bit about what." So I told him my story. He was like, "Dude, you got to write a book." I was like, "Man, I'm not writing no book because I'm not an avid reader. I'm just not." And a lot of people also I'm trying to touch is not avid readers, which is why I did the audio book, but we talk about that later. So, I'm sorry. But so, he was like, "You need to do a book." So, eventually, he kept in my ear, and I was like, "Babe, if I do this book, like, you got to help me, you know, like, you the book person."
Got the educator
so,
right there.
basically, eventually, he told me I should do it, and I was like, "Man, I bet if I write this book, I can help a whole lot of people that I need to reach." You know, they can look at me and, like, somebody's finally doing it. Somebody's finally doing it that they can, like, you know, touch, and they can like, this is a real person. So I was like, well, if I'm gonna do it, you gotta help me. She helped me through it. He would send me what he wants me to talk on, and we put it together, man. And when we got through, I was just so proud of myself. You know what I mean? I felt it felt great because I felt like this is part of my legacy. Like they can always go back and look and be like,
when did you release this?
I think I released this about a year ago.
It was a big thing too, man. Because I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm always watching,
right?
And I was like, man, Doug got it, man.
Yeah.
He at Walmart.
Yeah.
Like you started off from the gate.
Hey.
In Walmart.
Hey, let me tell y'all something. I don't know anybody else that got a book in Walmart but me. So God, I give God all the thanks. Man, when my guy Clarence McNair called me, and I remember we was sitting with my kids and family, I believe, at Longhorn Steakhouse maybe. And like he called me, he was like, yeah, man, check your text. Da, 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 da. So I looked and it was like Walmart.com. And I just sat there and like I wanted to cry. The tears was just a little falling, but like I just couldn't believe that I was at Walmart. Like that was a super big accomplishment for me to date. So so to be in there and to come where I'm from flipping bricks and changing my life, and that was huge for me. And you know, I'm in some other bookstores like Books A Million and Barnes and Nobles, and that's unreal to me. Like to come where I come from, to be those places.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
The art of flipping bricks.
Right.
Yes.
And funny story, while he was writing the book, so Clarence,
She just laughed, man.
Clarence would like send these emails. So, you know, can you answer this, blah, blah, blah. So Doug would forward it to me with it. And then, you know, I would kind of look and we would sit down and talk about some of the things. So I got to the point, I was just like typing and answering questions because I was like, I already know how he's going to answer this. It was like
beautiful.
stuff about flipping, right? So I showed him, he's like, girl, hold on.
You moving too fast.
Right. I was like, well, I don't even know what you're going to say about this. He's like, yeah, you really have been watching me. He was like, because I would have said this, and that.
It's crazy because I hear her now talk to her clients and stuff. And, you know, she only had, how long you had your license now?
Year and a half.
The way she's spitting out this stuff, I was like, she had to been studying me to know this stuff. You're not supposed to know this stuff.
But you know what they say, you know, you have to be careful what we do.
Right.
Because those around, even when you wasn't intentionally watching,
right,
you were hearing it.
Right.
So even like our kids and everybody around us, what we do really is what they do. Or at least they don't say is what they say, not what you tell them to do, but what you show them.
Yeah.
That
and
model.
you showed it. Yeah.
it is.
You've been there. You've been doing
right.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll get off the phone. I'm like, hey, babe, how did I sound? Did you hear me?
You was official, babe. Official.
You
he
got
was like, dang, yeah, you sound like you've been doing this for years.
And you got a beautiful spirit and personality.
Thank you.
Know, that helps
Thank
too, though,
you.
because what we talked about, the customer service and this
Right.
energy,
Right.
it makes people want to do, even when
Right.
things don't go all the way right, when the closing's delayed or something happened, when you following up with them and you got that energy,
Right.
they're like, okay, yeah, I feel you, you know what I mean?
Her energy is good. She's making me better actually in this real estate game because I'm watching how she's treating her clients. I've been doing this so long, I kind of be rough on them sometimes. And I'm like, oh man, she being so nice. I know they love her. You know, so
And
I learned
more
from her.
repeat business, more
It
repeat
is.
business, man.
Right.
That's what
It
that's
is.
gonna be, and that's when people say not the celebrity, people. It's so many of them, right? That need help with home ownership.
Right.
There's so many,
Right.
especially in our community. Our community is rough, y'all.
Yeah.
I know it look good on social media. We know everybody buying a house, but
Right.
there's so many people that are not and don't even feel like they have a chance to buy a house. So the educational piece, the attention that you're drawing, the teamwork, and it's like no other.
It is.
Right.
And even the celebrities, like they got a lot of questions and they need a lot of help too. A lot of them haven't structured that I've dealt with. They haven't structured themselves right to even buy the type of things they can afford. So I love when I can come in and say, hey, we need to do this. Get with my lady. She going to put you with this. And they get it together right. And then they buy that home. So they done got themselves together. They own a new home. I feel like a proud uncle when they do
what it is.
You know what I'm saying? And another thing I wanted to mention too, like I've been blessed to touch a lot of these real estate agents here in Atlanta, even some of them that have surpassed me. You know, I was at Spark to spark them, and it just feel good when I see like they can take care of their families from like me pulling them in and showing them a few things and stuff like that. So
That's a good feeling, man.
hey man, it feels good.
It's a good feeling. Somebody recently asked me one day, they was like, man, how you feel about such and such doing an event like yours? And I was like, it ain't like mine. I support them. I'm gonna call you and say, man, what's up, man? I love that. You know what I mean? Because it's an abundance of people that we can
Right.
serve. And
Yeah.
that's
Right.
what we are. We serving people.
Exactly.
So I don't look at competition. I mean, the real estate
Right.
agents out here, you know how many real estate
Right.
agents out here, you know what I mean? How many flippers out here, how many people teaching.
Right.
And that's where people, I think, go wrong because they look at you like sometimes competition.
Right.
Right.
When you're not competing. You can sit
Right.
down with you and learn so much from. I know you
Exact-
can reach out
Right.
and learn so much from you, man.
Right.
So again, shout out to y'all for doing that. But look, I want to go back
Okay.
to this. Hey, have you ever thought about getting started investing in real estate? Most of us just don't know where to start. I got the great place for you. The Art of Flipping Bricks by Douglas Parson Jr. Hey, man, my guy has really put it into a book and audio form, but what he's done is broken it down into layman's terms. He makes sure we understand how to get going, what resources you need, how to manage your construction. You know, what if my credit is bad? A lot of us get, frustrated because we don't have the right credit. He teaches you how to get your credit fixed and also gives you the resources. He gives you the attorneys to deal with, and he gives you more resources for his lending so that you get started and you keep going. And if you get the audio, you get motivation from music. He says he's going to be the #1 real estate book in the world. He's going to go platinum. So again, go get this, The Art of Flipping Bricks. Amazing book, The Art of Flipping Bricks.
Now,
You played on the word.
Yeah.
Woo, you played on the word.
play.
But you holding real estate bricks, mortar bricks in your hand.
Right.
Why?
I mean, I felt like, and shout out to Clarence McNair. We worked together on the name. So we bouncing ideas, and he called me one morning and he was like, I got it, Doug. I got it. I was like, okay, what you got? He said, The Art of Flipping Bricks. I was like, case closed. That's it. It just made so much sense for me selling bricks on the wrong side of the road to now being on the house side and still selling bricks, and people can relate to that. And it's like, I don't even know if my book could have done this well if it didn't have that name. It was like the perfect name. So, yeah.
What's inside?
Inside the box?
No, inside that book.
Oh, inside the book. I thought he was talking about the box. So, inside the
Now
book.
they got to go buy it to see what's inside that box.
Yeah,
man.
definitely.
This ain't, man. These mine.
Definitely,
They don't get
definitely.
these.
So, what's inside the book?
Yes.
So, basically, what I did, I broke it all the way down in the lamest terms, how to flip houses from getting your credit right. Right. So, the first thing I wanted to do when I was writing this book, I said, I can speak about this stuff, but why not me go get the experts on this, the people that I truly work with? So, first thing I talk about is credit in there, and I got my credit lady in there. She's wrote a small piece of information in there. Also, these guys that want to buy these $1 million homes and stuff like that, I had my guy Virgil. If you bought a $1 million house in Atlanta, you probably know Virgil. So Virgil Gordon, he does a lot of my $1 million deals. He spoke in there about all the things that he can do financially, as
So
far
he's
as
a lender?
He's a lender.
Okay.
Okay. Also, who else I got in the book?
Kendra Robinson.
Okay.
Shout out to Young Jock.
Closing attorney.
Yes, and Kendra Robinson. That's my preferred closing attorney.
Kendra Robinson, what's the name of her company?
Her name of her company is SRS. She's located right across the street from Lennox. They have a beautiful office. They very hands-on.
And I ain't never been in there, man. I feel some kind of way, man.
You got to get in there. Kendra. Ramon. Tukes.
We got to get in there.
So it's Robinson Scott Sanders,
love it.
SRS, and
Yes,
Title Company.
yes.
Right. So she's in the book speaking about the whole process of, being approved for a house. I got Coach K. Everybody know him. He has groups like the Migos.
Very motivating.
Very motivating. Just did a huge deal, about $300 million, something like that. It ain't much, but
that's all right.
Right. So he actually forwarded the book. So he's in the book. He wrote about his past experiences from me. As he's my family, but he's also a client of mine. So I sold him his dope house. You know what I'm saying? And he's also in the audio book. So I never heard Coach K on no type of recordings and all them artists he got, but he's on my audio book.
Coach K remind me of right quick.
Who?
What's the guy named that on PBC, the boxing? Where you don't ever see him,
PBC.
don't ever hear him. Golly, I can't think of his name now, man. He the big dog.
Al Heyman or somebody
Al
like
Heyman.
that.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
You don't see him. He likes that mystique. He don't like for you to
Correct.
see
You
him
don't
much.
hear him say much.
Yeah, so when I asked him to forward my book, it was like, it took him some time to get back with me, but he came through. So shout out to Coach K. I'm so appreciative for that.
Yes, yes.
And I'm really, he came at the last minute on my audio book. We was at Patchworks for a few days, and he just came in at the nick of time.
Man, you been in Patchwork recording?
Yes.
Oh, man, my album, I done said my album.
I see now.
My audio book is an album for real. Like, I got music on there. I got like.
Hold on, whoa, wait a
Music.
minute, wait a minute. So you telling me we got a traditional book?
Yeah.
I go buy in the store.
Yes.
Read it.
Yeah.
Highlight it.
Soft
right on
and
it.
hardback.
Soft and hardback.
Yeah.
Oh, you big time.
I'm getting there.
And the audio book.
And the audio book. The audio book is on iTunes. It's on Amazon Music, and it's on Audible, right? So I definitely got music on there. It's a whole vibe. I always tell my wife I got the first real estate album, you know, because it is like an album, and, you know, I'm going to be the first one to go platinum. So
Soon.
look out for the platinum plaque.
Soon. I like that.
Yeah.
Right.
What made you do the Audible, and how much different is the audio book from the traditional?
The audio book definitely is what you get in the book. But as I said previously in this interview, like, I'm not an avid reader. And a lot of people that I'm trying to reach, they not picking up books, reading it like that. I'm sorry, they just not. So with the audio book, hey, they can get in their car, turn it on. It's a little music. They get to hear Coach K, Kendra Robinson, Virgil, myself, you know, and Real Estate Blondie.
Yes.
And it's like they get a whole vibe, so they can kind of vibe out, listen, learn. You know what I'm saying? It just was the perfect thing to do. I like the audio book the most, just because you just put it in and just play.
How
it.
long is it? Like how
It's
long?
an hour.
It's an hour.
It's an
1
hour.
hour.
It's little over an hour.
Is it an hour?
If you take out some of the parts at the end. And so what he did with the audio book, he hit on like the most important parts of the actual book. So there are a couple of sections that aren't in there. And I think I want to say that maybe the hard money lending, if I can remember, is not in there because for someone that's just getting started with flipping, they might not necessarily need to even venture off hard money. When you talk about hard money lending, like you flipping, like you're doing it. So for beginners, like you might want to go get a traditional loan before you try to go get a hard money loan first, because there's a lot that goes with that hard money loan. When you talk about the draws and them coming to check it and all that.
I don't even want to talk to you no more. I'm calling her.
Right.
My bad.
But if I'm listening to this,
right,
and I want to get started, I'm new. I can reach out to y'all, and y'all can mentor me through the process.
Yes.
From start to finish.
Right.
Yes, we're working with people right now. I'm changing lives in real live time. Yeah.
I love it.
You know what I mean? And you know, some of those guys who did the crossover, it's like some of them started crossing over right when the market slowed down. So they used to seeing me, hey, he put that thing together in 30 days and he got like 20 offers and they 30,000 over value. To now it's slowing down. You can't do it in 30 most of the time. It's taking 60 to 90 days and you're not getting well over the asking and all that. But I tell them,
still getting a good return.
Yeah, still getting a good return. So like, you got to go ahead and just keep going. You just got to keep going. You can't say, oh, the money coming slower now. I want to go back to my old life.
No, don't go back over there, bro.
And holding them a little longer.
Yeah.
So, and then it's like one thing that I love about this process that we're doing, we're also learning along the way too, because not the flip that we have now, but there's one that we had probably, I guess, about 4 months ago that we held on to for a while. We're like, man, is this house ever going to sell? The wow was moving forward. These are the things that we're not going to do when we buy flips.
Okay.
So for instance, when you buy older homes, a lot of the older homes traditionally only have one bathroom.
Correct.
Now, nowadays, a family, even if you have one child, two child, you need at least a bathroom and a half or two bathrooms.
Right.
So we were like, we're not going to do that again. And it's to the point where now I was like, the house that we have now, the backyard's a little small. I'm like, okay, we teetering on that line that we said we wasn't gonna do again. Now we need to be looking at the backyard. We need to be seeing how many bathrooms it has, because you don't want to hold on to them for a long time, you know.
But what do you consider a long time? So I want people to have expectations.
Well, see,
in today's market,
he spoiled me because we were getting them, and I mean redoing them. And I mean, we were putting it on the market and we had offers within a couple of weeks. So this last one, I think we held for about 4 months, maybe.
Yeah.
We held for about 4 months. Yeah, it took a minute.
So let me throw a disclaimer out there.
Okay.
4 months is okay.
Okay.
Because what happens is when people get into the business, they don't have Doug.
Right.
And I'm not going to say there's a bunch of Dougs, right? They don't have the experience and the relationships with folks to even get the deals from the REO company. They don't have that.
Right.
So there is, I tell people, easy rehabs, 6 months, major rehabs, 12 months. I want to set the expectation.
That's
because
a good
what happens
number.
is when they come in and they see 30 days and their cousin that referred you said, man, I got in and out in 45 days. Then they mad at you. Then you didn't do something right. So traditionally with these renovations, because if you got to pull permits, that could take 30 days. So people have to really start setting that expectation.
That makes sense.
Again,
In the
you guys have the
beginning.
formula. Yeah, but if they know up front, this is where it could be, they're not mad. I got a great return.
Right.
I didn't get what Doug got. Guess what? I'm not Doug and I don't have that relationship.
Right.
We don't have 20 years of REO.
Right.
None of us do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I got some great relationships, but he did the BPOs. He
Right.
know every bank, every lender that was sending them. They saw that. So that was an advantage. But what I did was I just said, you know what? Doug my buddy.
Right.
Liz my buddy.
Yeah.
I'm going to touch those REO agents so I can have a relationship with them. I don't want the
That
bank
makes
relationship.
sense.
Right.
So I can keep doing what I'm doing. So a lot of people have to, I know when they see it and they hear you saying 30 days, they pissed when they can't get 30 days. Or they're turning down those deals that are 30-day deals because they're a little bit different than the 12-month deal where
That's
we pop on
true.
the top adding on. You're not doing it in 30 days. You know what I mean? So people have to come to you for education so that they can really understand this business.
Right.
I know we got it right here.
Yeah,
Water
that's
flipping
right.
bricks.
So my
That's
question
right.
for you, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, flip the script.
I
Yeah,
see
let me
it.
flip it over. So let me ask you this. What is a small return for you? Like when you look at a deal, what's that number you usually say, hey, if I can't make this, then I ain't doing it. Like,
See, I don't have minimums.
okay, cool.
Right, I look at time and return. So if I invest $20,000 and can make $10,000, that's a 50% return. If you're making it in 6 months, that's a 100% return in a year.
Okay.
So whereas people always say, "Man, I put 20,000. Now I want to make 20 or 40,000."
Right.
That's why a lot of people sitting on the sidelines the past 3 years.
Man.
They couldn't find a deal that fit that motto that they looking at social media. Somebody that says, "Oh man, I invested 15,000 or 20,000 and I made 20,000 or 30,000." Well, maybe you don't make that on every deal. Right. Don't sit on the sideline not making nothing.
Right.
When you can turn
That's
around
what he
and make a
always
great
says.
return.
That's what I tell people. Like
says
me, I
that.
do got a number. Like at the end of the day, I at least want to make me like 20, 30,000 off a deal. Minimal, right? So I actually can speak about it. So I had one client, she's a dancer, right?
Okay.
And you know, she was like, hey, I sold her house here, beautiful home, pool. It's lovely. It's about the second. I sold that house about 2 or 3 times. So anyway, I really did. I sell a lot of my listings 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Even the $1 million ones. But like I said, I sold her house, right? And then she saw me on Instagram, you know, and looked like I'm doing all right. All right, Doug, I'm ready to do something. I was like, cool. She's like, what you think I'll be making off my deals? I was like, well, at minimal, you're gonna make probably 30,000 off a deal, you know, at the minimal. And how long? Oh, about 60, 90 days. Oh, that's not enough for me. So boom, I wait, right? Because I love when they say that. Then I come back in them 60 to 90 days and I'm gonna be like, that same money you was gonna buy that house with, like what, how much are you, like how has it grown? Matter of fact, if you working, go your 401k in the last year or 2 years, let me see how much money you made off the money that you can use selling real estate. It ain't nothing that adds up to it. So it's just like, you got to get in the game.
Well, you know, I don't give dollar amounts. I give percentages.
I know.
And this is what I tell people. If it took you a year to make a 50% return, you're doing better than 90% of the people that's investing.
Right. That's true.
I don't look at stock options and stuff like that because you got to understand that business. I don't look at some of the other things that I'm talking about, traditional, slow kind of earning money. Right. Look at some of the wealthiest people in the world. I'm going to give you this. Hard money lenders. They look to make 15% return a year. Why are they wealthier than the people that are flipping the houses? You know why? 15% consistently over time. I'm going to get 15%. Beats that 50%, 100% return that you make every now and then because y'all are looking at it differently
Right.
because you want to get rich on one deal.
That makes sense.
Think about those people that are hard money lenders. They ain't charging us 20%.
Man.
They ain't charging. Now it was 8 to 12%. And
Yeah.
they still getting filthy rich.
Yeah.
Right. Because that 10% number, a 10% return per year on your money is a really good return. Anything above that is gravy.
Right.
Anything
Right.
above that. And when they don't have that, then like you said, you let them sit back and wait. And,
Right.
you
And
know,
then say what they do, and they ain't done nothing. Matter of fact, they losing money, and it's just crazy. But it feels good when you got money calling you on the phone. Hey, you need money? What you doing? You need money? You need money? So I'm at that point now. That feels great to have my hard money lenders just constantly calling.
you deserve
me.
it though.
Yeah,
You put in the work.
Exactly. So then, even let me tell you, even with breaking down this to layman's term for my people who watch me, it's like, see, when I said I want to make 20,000, 30,000 minimum, 30, 40,000, you said I look at it like a percentage, and this is the percentage, and and this percentage of people. See, that's why I broke it down to. Some people can't relate to you starting talking percentages. That's just a simple point right there. So I broke it down. They understand, like, hey, I try to make $30,000 in this amount of months, and they can. So that's what I try to break it down to, stuff like that. That's a simple example right there.
That's in here.
Yeah. Hey, man, you learn how to dress in here. You know how to present yourself in here. You're going to learn how to put yourself together in here if you want to be a celebrity realtor and you want to be a great flipper. You know what I'm saying? And, like, to be honest, I made way more money with these bricks of real estate than the bricks that I made,
For sure.
back in the day. And, like, if these young cats really would just sit down for a minute and see that, they could change their whole life and their kids' life, their mama's life right now. You know what I mean?
You got to be patient with it, though.
Yeah.
Right.
That's one thing, because I have talked to people and, I got family that's been on that side. You know what I mean? We've seen it. And
Right.
for a long time, man, for the past 29 years,
Yeah.
you can go talk to a lot of people where 29 years ago, I was like, I'm just getting started.
Right.
Hey, listen, cuz, come bring 50 over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like,
Right.
nah. But when I bought that first house in Kirkwood for $65,000
Yeah.
that we didn't have to touch and turn around and sold it for $185.
You knew.
I mean, I already knew though, because I grew up. My father had some real estate.
Okay.
We seen, I saw it early.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I knew and understood
Right,
it.
right.
But when you say you talking to folks,
Yeah.
sometimes I know I talk and we laugh.
Yeah.
In 3 minutes, I want you to look. Here go the 3-minute version.
Right.
Right.
Let's go.
Right.
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 You know what I
Right.
mean? We're gonna get dirty. This might take us 3 months. It
Right.
might take 6 months.
Right.
But again, what you've done is, and will be always needed because you're talking to people where they are.
Yeah.
And I love it, bro. So
Yeah.
how do we? Where do we go get the book from now? Because they can have these two. Ain't no need
Look,
looking
I
at
had
these.
those. I brought an extra for anybody around here that
Okay.
needs to hear them. But I tell you what, you can go get my book at Walmart.com. You can go get my book at BarnesandNobles.com. You can go get my book from Books A Million. Amazon also. I forgot to mention Amazon. Everybody on Amazon. It's definitely on Amazon. As far as the audio book, I'm giving you $1 million worth of game for $5.99.
That's it.
Yeah.
$1 million worth of game for $5.99. If you can't spend $6 on yourself to get this knowledge, that something's wrong. And I stand on that. So they can get the audio book at iTunes. They can get the audio book at Amazon Music. They can get the audio book at Audible. Most people use Audible. I would love for you to go there and get my real estate album. I'm trying to go platinum, y'all.
Oh,
Not
my
trying.
goodness,
You're going
I
platinum.
I'm
cannot.
going platinum.
Going platinum.
Yeah.
10
I'm with
times.
you.
What's that? Diamond? I'm trying to go diamond.
Man, I want to go to the party.
You invited right now.
Look, so this audio book is teaching folks. This is what we're teaching.
Yes.
Right? Where do you see yourself? Where do you want to be in 5 years?
In 5 years, I do got huge plans, and these plans really, some of them just came to me over.
We
the
putting it
last-
out here. I mean,
Hey,
this is it.
I can only give you but so much, but big things coming in 2024 that's gonna help everybody
I got you.
that I know in real estate. In 5 years from now, like I think we were just speaking about, you might have just sold some apartments or something like that, and I see you dealing with these buildings and these apartments all the time. So at this point, my focus is what I want to do. Like I told her, even for this year, is I want to get me an apartment building,
That's
at least
done.
8 unit,
That's
4
easy.
unit. Yeah. So I'm at that point where really like I don't want to buy any more single family houses. I want to do like apartment builds and yeah, that's what I'm ready to do.
Ready to go with that?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Oh,
Ready.
We rolling then.
Yeah,
we got that. That's that's an easy one because that's what I love to do. So I got you on that.
Right.
I want to hear yours too. 5 years.
So in 5 years, of course, I'm going to be retired from education completely.
Yes.
And I want to put together my program so that I can educate the youth.
Yes.
I want to start teaching, and I just really want to get out here and be able to do real estate full time. Continue with the property management, just, continue with everything that we're doing. Another thing that I wanted to say that I really enjoy about the flipping homes is we have a particular area that we like going in, and it just so happens to be, areas where the houses have been abandoned, maybe, families aren't able to fix them up. And what I'm noticing when we go in these neighborhoods and we're fixing up these abandoned homes, it really almost changes the perspective of like the neighbors in the area.
You see them start doing work.
Because you see them start working on their homes, and then sometimes they come over and ask us questions. Well, do you think this person could come over and fix my house up? So it's helping because no one wants to live in a community with abandoned homes, ran down homes.
Right.
So I feel like one house at a time, we are changing lives. So I want to be able to do that full time and help more families.
Yeah.
And you're doing it with a smile, though. I mean, you make us want to change the neighborhood.
Definitely.
Yes.
So I'm going to stay over there for a second.
Okay.
And I need to hear I know y'all are one, but I need separate answers. What does delayed gratification mean to you?
Delayed gratification for me, and that's funny that you asked that because I just was telling him right before we came here, we were sitting in Starbucks, and I said at the end of the day, I said, if I was to pass away right now, I said I've had two great accomplishments, two great titles in my life, being a mom and being a wife. So at the end of the day, I want all of the seeds that I've planted, years later, years from now when I'm gone, I want those seeds to be able to grow and continue. Those are those things that I want. So I want to leave a legacy. I mean, whether it's big, whether it's small, I like to make presents. And so that delayed gratification is the seeds that I put out now, years from now, those will be flowers and blooms that, other people will be able to, enrich their lives with.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Well, I almost don't even want to ask you after that, but I
know, man. How do you come after
Doug,
that?
It's really tough, man. But listen, Doug, what does delayed gratification mean to you?
Delayed gratification for me specifically means I guess it kind of just means if you're doing something, just keep pushing at what you're doing. Like you might not get the applause you want. You might not get what you want right now, but just keep your head down. And then cause it's coming later, you know what I mean? So delayed gratification for me would be say right now, I want to get this apartment building. Right. So I got to keep working and doing the things I need to do, and at the end of the day, I know that, the goal is to get this apartment building. So that's my goal right now in life at the top now.
Listen, I got to get one. We finna hit that one real fast.
Cause you inspire me, brother, when it comes to the apartments and the buildings and all that and the grind. You ain't gonna give them all like me. I give them all the glitz and glamour too. But you, it's like I know you getting it all. But you hey, I'm just me. This is how I am. It ain't. And you just keep going. But I just want to work hard now and it'll be greater later. That's what it means to me. But like I say, you definitely inspire me for the build and just real estate in general. I remember when I first got my license, you was already killing it. You know what I'm saying? So I remember coming to your conferences in big hotels downtown. And I'm like, I get there, they serving lunch and you got big speakers coming and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, Ramon is really doing this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Working, man.
Working, and I've been seeing you work through the whole flick, man, and you've been helping people. I remember, I think you was one of the first guys to start putting these people in buses and taking them around and look at this, and let's go to Home Depot, and let's go look at this property and this and that. So, you've been doing this a long time, my brother. I'm just getting started.
I appreciate you, man. Listen.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all coming on. I know today is a very special day.
It is.
It's my birthday.
Happy birthday again.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all taking the time to come.
Definitely.
The conversation, man, second to none.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to listening to and reading.
Yeah.
And I again, man, this is a big accomplishment, man. I know when I saw you in front of Walmart, I was Doug got it, man.
That was crazy.
Doug got it, man. So again, I look forward to continuing to work together.
Definitely.
We're gonna bust them goals up. Them goals y'all
Yeah,
got.
we gonna be on you about that apartment.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh, it's easy. He know it's easy.
Yes.
He know that's easy. So we just gotta say where it is and let's get ready to go to work. So again, thank y'all for being on.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Y'all go follow my family. Y'all tell them how to follow y'all.
Okay. On Instagram is where I'm typically at. So at I Am Real Estate 1. At I Am Real Estate 1 on Instagram. Check me out on Facebook at Douglas Parson Jr. Check me out on TikTok. What's my TikTok? This is my TikTok person.
Yeah, your TikTok is just your name. Too.
My name.
I Am Real Estate 1.
I Am Real Estate 1. And then Blondie.
Okay, on IG, you can find me at Real Estate with Blondie. And then on Facebook, Atiya Parson. And it's also Real Estate with Blondie.
Hold on. Give them your IG one more time with the pronunciation, please.
IG is Real Estate with Blondie. Okay? That part.
Y'all thank y'all so much. Listen, y'all. Make sure you go follow them, support them, get this book, buy it for graduation gifts, give it to your cousin that's still on, trying to figure it out, y'all. But this is life changing. If you listen to this episode, y'all, I know who they are.
Right.
I know that they're inspirational. You see what's happening here, y'all. Right. So again, this episode has been brought to you by Douglas Parson Jr. and the Art of Flipping Bricks, and we just finished another one, y'all. So again, thank y'all for joining in. We'll see y'all on the next episode of the Delayed Gratification Podcast.
Delayed
Gratification.
Yes, sir.